Hi, everybody, welcome back. So, I'm so sorry, my timing has been off lately with posting and all of that. So, I'm going to give you a window because sometimes it's a bit crazy over here. Okay, so now I'm going to make the window from 1 p.m. GMT to 3 p.m. So, latest by 3 p.m., you should see a video. And if you don't see a video by that time, assume I didn't post that day. Okay, so in today's video,
A group of men, when they get to 50, they start falling apart. I found out just by doing this podcast. There's this term called hospice wife. So I'll give you how it is, hospice wife. So a hospice wife, basically a man above 50, marries a woman. Finally, he's been playing the field for 50 years, and now he's ready to get married. His body is falling apart. He's got hypertension. He's got diabetes, heart issues, the whole nine. And now he's ready to get married and settle down. So now he marries a woman maybe 10 years younger or maybe in the same age group. And now he's marrying her, but only for him to have someone to take care of him in his later years.
yeah, honestly, I've heard about hospice care wives, okay? But I thought it meant something else because a couple of years ago, there was this very viral photograph of this young lady who was, I don't know if she's African, I don't know, but she's dark skinned, and she was in a photograph with this very old man, and they had like a Christmas photograph, and the guy was in a chair, and you could see the wrinkles and everything, and everyone was making jokes about it in the comment section, saying all sort of things. And I saw the hospice care wife thrown in there in several comments, and I thought hospice care wife meant very young women who ended up marrying very old, maybe affluent or wealthy men. Okay, that's what I thought, but apparently it means something else, and I learn something new every single day. TikTok have taught me so many things over the past year, and I have been learning, but this was a bit interesting to me. I don't know if you ladies have already seen it, but I'm going to share it anyway. There are a couple of ladies who are sharing stories about why they have decided to not date or be going to relationships and marriages in their 50s, and then this lady came and her breakdown of the whole situation of the hospice care wife. I was like, I must share this. Without wasting your time, let's get into some of the reasons why women in their 40s, 50s have stopped dating or have decided to stop dating. And then the lady's story is going to be at the end. It's a bit longer. So let's get into that, and I'm going to come back and talk some more, and leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Thank you so much.
Is dating in your 50s really bad? I just got off the phone with my friend and she's like, I'm done. I stopped dating 3 years ago. You didn't get the memo? Like, no. I'm done. I'm better off alone. I have my job. I'm financially secure. I have my house. My only child is an adult, and I'm healthy. I don't need problems in my life. And she's like, everyone's story is different, but dating out here for women my age, you find men that are older by 10, 12, 13 years. They're in their late 60s, maybe early 70s, and they're looking for a nurse. They're ready to settle down at that age. And if you find a man that's 55, semi-good looking, has a good job, is financially secure, he doesn't want your ass. He wants a young one, 22, 23. And I'm like, no, not that young. And she's like, Jasmine, Bill Belichick is 74. His girlfriend's 24. That's how it is. It's slim pickings. Or you got guys out here who, they're trying to move in with you because you got a house. I'm better off alone. I got my friends, I got my activities. I'm not cleaning anyone's ass. No. So it made me think, because this is not the first time I have a conversation like this. This is like my third conversation with 3 different friends are on the same age. One is 50, one is 55, and one is 56. And they're all like, no, I'm better off alone.
I'm 50, I'm now single, and I had decided to try my hand again at dating. And what I could say so far about my experience is 0 out of 10, I do not recommend this shit. Number one, sir, I just met you. We just started talking. No, you are not coming to my house. Not only are you not coming to my house, at this point, you will not even know the neighborhood that I live in. Number two, if you are a father that has visitation on the weekends, the weekend that you have your visitation, that should be the weekend that you tell anybody you're interested in that you are not available to go out on a date. You need to start doing that. Number three, this goes out to all my good girlfriends who keep bringing my name up to these single men that they know. Keep my name out your mouth. Keep my name out your mouth because your recommendations so far have been trash. Have not been working for me. So therefore, I'm going to do what I have been doing for the last 2 years or so because it was working for me. It was working for me. I am going to go back to minding my business, drinking my water to stay hydrated to keep the wrinkles away. You know, we're getting a little older, and things like day parties, girls trips, shopping. You know, I love to go shopping. Those are the things that I'm going to focus on. Because this dating thing, what I will tell anybody that if you are in a relationship or you're in a marriage and you know things get rocky, work it out. Work it out because you don't want no parts of these single streets. It's just not for me. I'm going to stick with what I know. Thank you.
Oh boy, here we go with this generation of 43-year-olds something, these 40-year-old sisters. Remember I told you that when me and my friends got around 43, that my career sisters, my friends that had been flight attendants, single doctors and attorneys, hospital administrators, counselors, all of a sudden, I mean, they had been wanting to be married since we were like 19. And all of a sudden we got in our 40s and they were just ripping and getting married left and right. Like I hadn't been in a wedding, period, in my 20s. None in my 30s. When I got my 40s, I was constantly going to Hawaii, going to Cuba, going to Paris, started going to these weddings, and my friends would be marrying these guys, and these guys would just show up, and it was just like, and I was thinking, oh, I guess this is what's supposed to happen. You get 40, and then all of the men just get their act together, and they come and marry you. Now, most of these men were about 10 years older than my friends. I'm telling you, they were showing up with rings and flowers, and they'd be going out with my friends and wearing matching outfits, and one of them wanted to go to her family reunion around Christmas dressed as Mr. and Miss Claus and the Statue of Liberty and Uncle Sam and boating and all. And I mean, they were ripping and running and I was like, where were these men at? So I had come up with a theory that I put out on social media that men were getting it together in their 40s, that they had ditched their lives and gotten with all these horrible women, or they were horrible men, and then they learned their lessons, and then we were reaping the benefits of these men that had learned their child. Before we turned 50, them men was dropping dead left and right. Seriously. Heart attack, stroke, prostate cancer, colon cancer, ED, VD. I mean, all types of like these ailments that they were having. One was dating a guy and his teeth just started falling out of his head. One was dating a guy and he just had this curly Prince hair and all of a sudden he just a slick bald headed. One of them was like this brilliant, intelligent dude who had been married 3 times and had all these mixed match kids. And as soon as my friend married him, his head blew up with a brain tumor. My friends been spending money. They were spending money left and right, re-outfitting their houses. Men getting their toes and legs cut off because of diabetes, right? Men that was losing their mind, stopped taking their medication, and they had to put them in these asylums and all this stuff. They were getting wheelchair ramps put in their houses, doing GoFundMe so that the men could pay for experimental medicine to keep their men alive. And these are men that hadn't been with them not even 2 years, they didn't have any children with these men. My friends are mostly single without children. And these men had all these skeletons in their closet, all these mismatched kids. And my friends hadn't invested nothing into my friends. They hadn't invested nothing but that love bombing courting phase. So now, y'all, I'm looking on Facebook because we're now past 40. And so now I'm looking at all the little generation of my sister's era. I'm looking at them on Facebook. Every weekend, droves of them getting married. I just never thought I'd find my Boaz. And they just getting married left and right. And I'm looking at them marrying these old bald-headed men that I know. I'm like, the only reason y'all probably been together one time because he took 15 Viagras. you look at them and you know that they're impotent, right? And they're like, well, that's okay. I just love him. And then I'm going to tell y'all what's going to happen, just like it was with my friends. They married now. Some of them going to drop deceased the week after, because that happened to some of my friends, because they already know that they're sick, which is the reason that they're running trying to marry all these little young 40-year-old women that are, that have reached the glass ceiling, that have reached the ceiling that they're in their careers, that have their education, that have all their licenses, they're invested in their companies and all this stuff. They have their homes bought. Now all of a sudden these men are showing up and now they marrying this group of 40-year-olds. Now, see, what they do is the old ones are using the young women for their body, their youth, and their beauty. They're using the young women for that, but they're marrying the women that are already set so they can rest in their femininity and use them as hospice care wives and then pass away in their big, nice 4-post bed. And then all of their grown, ugly kids will show up at these little 40-year-old women's houses, and they ain't got no kids, and they daughters that's 30 will show up and kick in their door and want to walk in her house and carry everything out like they dad had a pot to piss in or wanted to throw it out of. So I'm just looking at it and I'm just like, I wish that they would listen. Or do they think that hospice care wives, that it's the women that's in their 40s and 60s? No, sisters, it's y'all in your late 30s. Mainly if you 43 years old and a man shows up and starts wanting to marry you, he doing it dressed all up and loving your family and buying your mama flowers and all this stuff. What about you has made him just all of a sudden she's just so wonderful, I want to get with her? They're trying to use you for your benefits. They're trying to use you for your house. They're trying to use you for your kitchen table so that they can sit in your house and eat your cereal while you go work at the hospital and they go drive Uber, while they go shine shoes, while they go do detail cars. Or as one of them, he's retired from the military. Okay, retired from the military, or did he get kicked out the military? Friend got with him thinking he's getting some type of check from the military. He ain't getting shit. Moved into her house, and that's what she's dealing with. That's a younger friend. So I'm just telling y'all, like, when I see like older people getting married, when I see that now, especially when it's these sisters that's in their 40s and they marry these old bald-headed pot-bellied men, the men just smiling or crying while they walking down. Yeah, because you're rescuing them. They ain't got nothing. They wore out. They've expired. And then all of a sudden, they're expired milk and somebody comes up, oh, I want to drink the milk. They are a totaled car and somebody shows up and gets the car and fixes it. Oh, let me tell you what. They are a junkyard dog that's been living on the streets, and all of a sudden, Cruella DeVille shows up in a big limo to take the dog in and let it live out the rest of its life in luxury. That's what you are. You're Cruella DeVille. You are the woman in the limo that's saving the dog on the side of the road. Of course, the dog is happy and grateful until you don't feed it. And that's exactly what's happening with these dudes. Once they get into your house and they know that you can't just put them back out in the junkyard on the street where they belong, they're going to start acting simple. That's where they're going to turn around and try to drag you down. That's when they're going to start gutting your self-esteem. That's whenever the guy, like one guy of a 43-year-old, oh my God, when I met him, he was on a canoeing with her on a camping trip. Now, the legacy of low achievement won't even walk out to the front porch to pick up the mail. He won't do nothing now. She get ready to go to a funeral of her best friend. He won't even go to the funeral. So I'm just saying to you guys, just be careful. Your friends under the 40s, like if you're going to be with a man in your 40s, don't marry him. Just do not marry him. Just enjoy his company. There's no use in getting married. What are you marrying him for? So that you can take him to because when you get, especially them, their life expectancy is 41 years. Quality of life expectancy is like 53 actually. So why are you marrying them? So that you can take care of them and nurse them to death? There's no need to marry. You're not trying to have no kids by them, so why you want to get married? Have a ceremony, have a commitment ceremony, but do not marry them, because the only thing they're going to do is use you as a hospice care wife and then die and leave you alone with all their bills and having to answer to their ugly kids.
Hey TikTok friends, it's your girl Nia. Listen, I have a very specific message for a very specific audience. So if this does not apply to you, then please, baby, let it fly. This message is for the older fellas, and maybe it's a warning for some of y'all who ain't so old yet. Listen, some of y'all wait until you in your 60s and you got high blood pressure, you got heart disease, you got arthritis, you got a bad back, your little wee-wee don't work like it used to, you done gained all this weight, you can't see good, you can't move good, and that's when y'all are ready to settle down. Baby, listen, we are not interested in being hospice wives, okay? There are a lot of good women out here who are single and who have been ready and able to love a good man. But many of y'all play with our hearts. Y'all got to have all the other women and run around and play games and can't commit and all of that until your health gets to declining. Once your health is bad, then it's like, oh, I need me a good woman. I'm ready to settle down. Baby, listen, miss me with all of that. I'm just noticing a trend. That's all I'm going to say. I'm noticing a trend. Again, if it doesn't apply to you, let it fly. No reason for you to get triggered in my comments if it has nothing to do with you. But I will say this. If you think that you can run around in your good years and play with the heart of good people and waste the time of good people, and then when you're all alone and broken down and by yourself, decide, I'm going to get it together and I'm going to do right by her. And she's going to be okay with driving me to my appointments and picking up my prescriptions. Baby, you might just be in for a rude awakening. I did see recently on this lovely app how they were talking about how there's so many single black men living in nursing homes by themselves. Nobody's coming to visit them and they don't have family. And I'm not saying that's the only demographic that this happens to, but I think it's sad and it's unfortunate that it happens to anyone at all. So all I'm gonna say is this: while you run around having a good old time in your youth, messing with people in your youth, think about how that's gonna play out and what your karma's gonna look like in your senior years. That's all I got. Love you. Bye.
As the old saying goes, a word to the wise is always enough. But we know that there are not a lot of wise men out there. But as I was saying, I thought it was younger women. I believe that a lot of older men who are like wealthy and go after younger women as well to take care of them when they are older, because they have no one, they have no family, their divorces have set in, their children don't want to see or hear from them. Like, people are just waiting for them to die, okay, so they can come for their portion of whatever they have, which is sad. And so they end up with the younger women to take care of them because they are lonely and miserable. Okay, so yeah, it makes sense that all these older women are like, yeah, we know what is going on now and we don't want any part to do or play in this. If you want to go around playing in your youth, playing women, abandoning your children, cheating, and be aware that when you get to your 40s, these modern 40-year-olds and 50-year-olds, they are not taking you and they are not going to take care of you. They'll rather be single than be with you. Okay, so if you have something going, you better take care of it. Take care of your children, take care of your wives, make sure you're protecting and providing for them. Be good men to these people in your lives. If you are lucky enough to have a woman who wants to marry you and have a family with you, pour everything you have into her and your children and stick with that. Because if you want to go around and F around, when you grow older, you're going to find out, because the streets are cold. And the women that you abandon and you don't pick and you neglect and you overlook after you've done dealing with your preferences, don't think they'll be sitting there waiting for you to take care of you because, oh, finally the goodwill has arrived. No, they are choosing themselves. Okay, nobody cares about how well packaged you are. They all know you are run through. Do something good with what you have, your family, or settle down with someone in your youth. So if you don't want to be alone and your plan is to find a woman after you have played your way through life, misusing women, abusing women, having children everywhere, with multiple women, right? If you don't want to be lonely in a care home, right? Create something with the women in your lives. Honor them, appreciate them, cherish them, stick with them so they will stick with you. Because these older women these days, they do not give a about you. They don't care because they know the game. They know what is going on. Nobody wants a Viagra popping, arthritis knee, what do you call it, multiple baby mother men in their house eating their food and their snacks and expecting them to take care of them. That is not going to happen for you. But like I said, me, I'm not smart. You guys are the smart one. So a word to the wise is enough. Anyway, let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again with another video. Take care of yourselves. Bye.